to my channel. Today we are testing a very expensive concealer. I'm sure you guys have already seen the thumbnail and the title. This is the most I've ever spent on a concealer, ever. And I'm still kind of feeling guilty about it, to be quite honest with you. But this is the Cle De Peau concealer, and that's just how they describe it. It's got SPF of 25, and that's pretty much the title of it. So this concealer retails for $70. So I bought this on Nordstrom's the other day, and in my defense, I have wanted this concealer for a really long time. First time I heard about this concealer was from Tati. I can't remember if it was like a WTF, or maybe it was a video of like, you know, luxury high-end products that are worth it. It was one of those videos. And this was on the list. So this has been on my like high-end luxury. I want to try that really bad, but I just don't want to spend the money. You know what I mean? It's on that list. And this has been at the top of that list because I've heard nothing but amazing things about this concealer. I had some rewards on my Nordstrom's card. I think it was like $30 or $40. So that's what those rewards are for, in my defense, okay? That's what those rewards are for. Those rewards are for you to splurge on something that you would not normally buy, okay? So that's what I did. I bought a concealer. I can't help it. I'm addicted. I should have bought a pair of boots or something, but whatever. So here we are. I have a $70 concealer in my collection. This only comes in 6 shades, which in my opinion, that is probably the most negative. There are several negatives with this concealer, and I will get into all of that in the video. I chose the shade Ocher. That's what you get into when you get into these high luxury brands. The shade range goes like this to like this. And it kind of sucks because they're making a fortune, okay? They're making a fortune and they can splurge a little bit and make more shades. That's just my opinion, but whatever. We're gonna get into the price breakdown of this concealer. So this concealer is $70 and it is 5 grams, 0.17 ounces. So it is $14 per gram. If you had a full ounce of this concealer, it would be $396.90 for the full ounce, okay? So $14 a gram, that's a lot of money for a concealer, okay? That's a lot of money. It's like mind-blowing how much money that is. I went through my collection and found the 2 stick concealers that I have that are more high-end. So I have the Marc Jacobs Remarkable, or no. I have the Marc Jacobs Accomplice Concealer, and I also have this one from Hourglass. I went surfing on Sephora and I saw that there is another stick concealer from Beaute, and also La Mer has a stick concealer. So I'm going to do some price comparisons and break down this Cle De Peau concealer compared to those 4 brands. So first we have the Marc Jacobs concealer. So this Accomplice concealer retails for $34. It is 3.4 grams for 0.17 ounces. It is $6.40 per gram, which makes it $181.44 if you had a full ounce of it, okay? So that one is much cheaper than this one from Cle De Peau, but Marc Jacobs is not as expensive as Cle De Peau, so that's to be expected. Hourglass, on the other hand, it is $34 for 3.4 grams. Which makes it 0.12 ounces, okay? So it's $10 per gram, and it is $283.50 per ounce. So remember, the Cle De Peau was $396. So the Hourglass is $10 per gram. The Cle De Peau is $14 per gram. So then we go to La Mer. La Mer is $80, okay, for 4.2 grams, which is 0.14 ounces. That makes it $19.05 per gram. And if you had a full ounce of the concealer, it would be $540.07 per ounce. So that's a lot of money, okay? $540 per ounce for the La Mer concealer. Okay, now wait till your mind gets blown on this one. So we're gonna move on to Beaute. If you thought that La Mer was bad, wait till you hear about Beaute. So Beaute is $50 for 1.8 grams of product, okay? 0.06 ounces. That makes it $27.78 per gram, which is, if you had a full ounce, you would pay $787.56 for that concealer. Hallelujah. That's a lot of money, you guys. That's a lot of money. That's a house payment for some people. That's crazy town. Crazy. We're going to go ahead and get into the description of the concealer. So this is what it says on the Nordstrom's website. A concealer that delivers long-lasting full coverage while correcting the appearance of dark circles, spots, imperfections, and uneven tone without a heavy finish. Let's see, so it's supposed to leave the skin looking smooth and refined with a seamless finish. They don't really go into a lot of deets. They don't give you a bunch of, yada, yada, yada. It just is what it is. So that's what we're doing today. I hope you guys are excited about it. Without further ado, let's jump into the application portion of the video. I'm going to show you guys how I apply this, and then I'm going to do some wear tests. I'm going to come back, show you guys what it looks like, 6 hours later, 12 hours later, and I'm also going to be using it with a color corrector to try to give it a little bit of help in the coverage department. And then at the end of the video, I will get into my final thoughts. So without further ado, let's jump into the application. This is a stick concealer, and this is not the first time I've used it. This is actually the second time I've used it. And I did put on some of my eye cream before I put my foundation on. So it's been probably, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes since I did my foundation and brows and stuff. This is the Tatcha Silk Peony Eye Cream. I do feel like this is a little bit of a drier product, but creamy at the same time. So normally when I have a drier concealer like this, I like to put on some sort of moisture on the under eyes, especially being that I'm 40. So I just picked some up here on this brush. By the way, this is the Sephora number 80 brush, I believe. Yes, it's like a contour brush, but it's so perfect for concealer. I'm obsessed with it. Although I think I'm gonna put it on with my fingers first. It's harder for me to put on concealer with my finger because I got nails and they're a little longer right now. So sometimes you just gotta go in with a brush, but I do feel like the texture of this formula, it seems like it would go on better with a finger. And it looks really good. I wouldn't say this is like full coverage. I would say this is like a good, decent medium coverage. But I can tell that you really only want to use a little bit of this. I think if you use too much of this, first of all, it's just way too expensive to use a lot of, you know what I mean? But it is that kind of formula where a little bit of it is going to go a really long way. This is the type of coverage that I might go in with this. This is the Magic Vanish from Charlotte Tilbury, and this will last you forever because you only need a teeny bit of this. But I feel like maybe erasing the dark circles with that and then going in with something like this, I just don't feel like this is like a full coverage. I feel like it's just more of like a natural, decent medium coverage. The thing that I'm noticing right away is that it looks really natural. I mean, that looks really good. It's not emphasizing my wrinkles at all. Of course, it looks a little wonky here, but I'm going to put some eyelid primer on. But I can always tell if a concealer is full coverage or medium coverage because I have this little like spider vein right here in this area. And if a concealer is like a full coverage, it will cover that, but you can still see it, but it's not as noticeable. I would say this is a soft matte formula. So I do think that if you're my age or older and you have drier under eyes, using a cream with this is going to be the best way to apply it. Tomorrow when I test it out, I won't put any eye cream on underneath it just to see if it really makes a difference, because right now it feels pretty good. It doesn't feel heavy. It feels really, really lightweight. I like it. I wish it had a little bit more coverage. Okay, so that's it for this application portion of the video. I will come back later on today and give you guys kind of an update, and then possibly come back tonight, show you guys what this is looking like. But so far, I think it looks pretty decent. So we're gonna see how long it lasts and all of that. So I will see you guys in my next check-in. So I'm back for a midday check-in on the concealer. So it is currently almost 5 o'clock. I probably applied it right around 11 o'clock this morning. I did get a later start to my day. This is what we're looking like about 6 hours later. And the thing that I don't like about this is I wish it had more coverage. Like, you can start seeing some of this darkness peeking through right here. And you can see this mark starting to peek through. You can kind of see the hollows of my under eyes peeking through, which that's the thing that I don't like 6 hours later. I mean, the nice thing is I'm not getting a lot of creasing, so it's not getting like dry and patchy or anything underneath my eye. I do appreciate that, so it doesn't really make my under eyes look dry or patchy or anything. Let's go in and see if we can add a little bit more to add a little bit of coverage and see what it does. So I'm gonna take my brush and just go in and see if this is something that you can add on top of it without it looking crusty and gross. You know, there's a lot of formulas out there that you just don't want to do any touch-ups with. So let's see if it helps and makes a difference. And hopefully it doesn't get, you know, dry and crusty. And I'm going in with a little bit of product. I'm going to take a little bit more and kind of dab it into my under eye right here. I mean, that helped a lot just to kind of brighten up the area, and just the overall look of my under eye just completely changed. So this is a formula that you can do like a spot conceal throughout the day. You can just dab it on your finger. You know, it is nice and travel friendly. You can just take your finger and go up in and just add a little bit of product where you want it. So I appreciate that about this, but there's a lot of my concealers that I don't have to do that with, and with the price of this concealer, you would hope that you wouldn't have to do that with this one, but you know, it is what it is. But look at the difference that made. Like, that just really woke up my eyes again. I want to try this product without any of my cream underneath it, my eye cream underneath it, to see if it's a drying type of concealer. And also I want to try it with this. I want to see if I get enough coverage by combining these two together that I won't have to come back 6 hours later and add some touch-ups. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply this concealer. I've actually been wearing it for a couple days now since you guys saw me last, and I am testing out a new foundation, and I have forgotten that I did not come on camera and use this concealer with my Vanish from Charlotte Tilbury. So the way that I like to apply this product is I like to just go in with my finger, grab a tiny bit, actually that's too much, and just start dabbing it in the areas that I need it. And I need to start erasing these dark circles, because I don't know if you guys are like me, but when you put your foundation on, it like makes your under eyes even look darker. I love this Magic Vanish. Like, this has been, oh, my holy grail. Like, I love it so much. And the trick with it is going in very, very, very lightly with it. Don't go in too thick with this product. This will last you forever. Like, you'll just buy it, you'll buy it once and you'll never have to buy it, because I have a feeling this will last me like 2 years. It's just one of those products that you just don't want to use too much of. My biggest complaint with this concealer is it doesn't have enough coverage. So my goal is to use the Charlotte Tilbury, give it some extra help with the coverage. I'm going to let this sit for a minute. So I'm going to start on this side. I want to test it and see if the Magic Vanish will help this concealer. And because I like the concealer, but I just need more coverage, bottom line. Okay, so now I'm going to go on to the Charlotte Tilbury side. So that helped it so much. You can instantly tell that this has that brighter look than this side. I look kind of awake here, but this I just look very like bright and kind of, you know, ready for the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera, finish the rest of my makeup, and I will come back and do like a midday check-in. It's right around 10:15, 10:30-ish right now. So I will see you guys in my next check-in. Okay, everyone, I'm back for a midday check-in. It's currently 5:30 in the afternoon. So I've had this on for what, like 7 hours now? Recap, this is the eye that I put on the Magic Vanish underneath it. Maybe it's helping a little bit, but I almost feel like it's worse. That is so bizarre, because that Magic Away, you guys, helps so much with all of my concealers. I do wish, I don't know if it's showing up on camera as much. In fact, let's turn off the ring light and see if it will show up better. Okay, so now that I've shut off the ring light, so all I have on is the two lights that are sitting kind of far back. So the ring light is always like right in front of you. Now that I have shut that off, this eye that I use the Magic Vanish with from Charlotte Tilbury, it looks a little brighter. It looks a little bit more youthful. the Cle De Peau looks more natural. If I come in real close, I want you guys to see kind of what the under eyes look like, and they do look really natural. And this one is not one that's like super creasy, and it does not exaggerate my wrinkles, like not even a little bit. And I think that's the thing that I've liked most about the concealer, is that it does look really pretty over wrinkles. Okay, so that's it for this check-in. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of here. I will give you guys my full final thoughts. I definitely have worn this enough to where I know exactly how I feel about it, and I will show you guys what it looks like 12 hours later. And yeah, so I will see you guys in my 12-hour check-in. Okay, everyone, I am back to give my final thoughts on this concealer. So it is 10:30 at night, and I applied this concealer right around 10 o'clock this morning. So it's definitely been over 12 hours. This is way overpriced for what it is. Don't get me wrong. This is a pretty concealer. It really does look really beautiful over wrinkles. There's two things. Number one, it can be drying. If you have dry under eyes, I don't know that I would recommend this. It looks so beautiful over wrinkles though. It really does. I mean, it lays so beautiful over wrinkles. So if you use an eye cream and you give it the hydration underneath the actual concealer, I think that's the best way to wear it if you have drier under eyes. But my thing is I just need more coverage, and I feel like if I'm gonna pay $70 for a concealer, I want it to give me everything I need. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, if it didn't claim to be full coverage, I would be cool with it having medium coverage, but it claims to be, and it's $70. So for me, I just expect more out of it. Don't get me wrong though, the thing that I've loved most about this concealer is that it's a perfect touch-up concealer. If I get a little bit of fallout from like an eyeshadow palette, I can take my brush and kind of dab it over top of where I got a little bit of shadow, and it removes it. But this doesn't get like thick and cakey, which I love. But the thing about it is though, if you go in too heavy with it within like the first application, you know, like this is not a concealer that I would recommend just going like this and, you know, swiping it. I really think that applying it with a brush and then kind of, you know, really melting it into the skin with a finger, that's my preference with this, because it is a little bit of a drier formula. But it looks so beautiful over wrinkles though. Like I can see why the lady at Nordstrom's told me it was her favorite. She was in her 60s. She said the reason why she loved it is because it doesn't exaggerate wrinkles, and it really doesn't. It lays beautifully over them. But the problem is it can be a tad bit drying, and it's not full coverage. So if you're somebody that doesn't need all of that coverage, then you might like it. For me, I'm just looking at it like, you're $70. Like, you should do everything that you claim and more. It should be like a holy grail, like jaw-dropping concealer. I have had fun testing it though, because there's a lot of these overpriced, hyped up products that were always like, is that really that good? Is it really that good? Is it really worth the price? And, you know, I'm always interested to try it out. If you guys are interested in me, you know, every once in a while testing out a overhyped, overpriced product, definitely let me know in the comments down below, or maybe I'll put a poll up here on the iCards and you guys can just click and vote. Those are my final thoughts on the concealer. If you guys have this concealer, because I know this concealer has been out for a really long time, like, and this has been a holy grail for years. I mean, this is a really old formula, old concealer. I think the lady that sold it to me, she had been using it for years, like 10 years. If you guys have had this concealer, if you have it, if you love it, if you don't love it, let us know in the comments down below what you liked about it or what you didn't like about it. I'm always curious to hear how everybody else is feeling about a product like this. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for the love that you show me in my channel. It means so much to me. I really hope you guys have a wonderful weekend filled with love and joy. I will see you guys in my next video, and I love you all so much. Bye.